kind of place you only heard about in warnings, not directions. It sat on the farthest edge of town where the streetlights ended and the forest took over. The road itself was a narrow, broken spine of cracked asphalt buried beneath dying leaves. What little remained of the old houses looked like skeletons. Dark windows, collapsed roofs, porches that leaned forward like jaws ready to swallow anyone foolish enough to step near. But at the very end of this forgotten street stood the worst of all, the last house. People didn't talk about the last house unless they were whispering. No one walked past it. No one touched its rusted gate. No one even looked at its windows for too long, afraid something inside would be looking back. 18-year-old Ethan Cole had grown up hearing the stories. Kids at school said a woman named Mara Lysander once lived there, an artist known for her strange paintings and even stranger behavior. They said she vanished one stormy night, and that afterward people passing by would sometimes hear her humming from the attic. Others swore they saw her silhouette in the window when the moon was full. Ethan didn't believe any of it, or at least that's what he told himself. Today, he wasn't here for ghosts. He was here for his future. He stood in front of the decaying gate with his camera bag slung over his shoulder. His hands were cold, his breathing sharp. His photography scholarship submission was due in 3 days, and he still didn't have the powerful, emotion-driven photograph he needed. His teacher's last words rang in his head. Fear, loneliness, something real, Ethan. I need to feel something when I look at it. The last house was nothing but fear and loneliness. Perfect. His friends thought otherwise. Footsteps approached behind him. Tell me we're not actually doing this, Lena said, pulling her jacket tight around herself. Her dark hair blew across her face, but her eyes stayed locked on the house with a mixture of dread and disgust. Mark rolled his eyes. We're not doing anything. He is. He jerked a thumb at Ethan. We're only here to watch him make the worst decision of his life. Jordan shoved his hands into his hoodie pocket, voice low. My dad told me someone went into that house last year. He never came out. Police searched for days. No, my dad doesn't lie about stuff like that. Ethan adjusted his camera strap. Look, I'm only going inside for a couple of shots. Then I'm out. Lena grabbed his arm. Ethan, please. This place isn't right. Can't you feel it? Ethan could feel it. The air around the house was colder, heavier, almost thick. The trees nearby didn't sway with the wind. They stood completely still, as if listening. No birds chirped, no insects buzzed. It was silence in its purest, most unnatural form. But Ethan pushed the feeling down. If I don't get this scholarship, he said quietly, I'm not going to college, you guys know that. Mark sighed. He hated when Ethan used logic during horror moments. Dude, there are other places to take creepy pictures. Abandoned factories, junkyards, alleyways. Hell, take a picture of my basement. It's terrifying. Ethan smiled weakly. Not terrifying enough. He stepped forward. The gate squealed open with a long metallic cry that scraped the air. Lena winced. Jordan muttered, that's a bad sign. Mark shook his head. Everything here is a bad sign. Ethan took another step. The air shifted slightly, brushing cold across his face like a breath. Lena shuddered. Ethan, stop, please. I'm begging you. He turned back toward her. Her fear punched him in the chest harder than the cold did. I'll be fine, he said softly. I promise. He walked toward the porch. Every board creaked under his weight. The front door loomed in front of him, tilted, swollen, the wood rotting like diseased skin. Its paint peeled in strips that curled like fingernails. He reached for the doorknob. Jordan whispered, "Oh, God." Ethan's fingers touched the rusted metal. It was freezing, so cold it felt wet. As he pushed lightly, expecting resistance, the door swung open on its own. All four of them sucked in a breath. Lena took a step back. Mark whispered, "Dude, just take pictures from the outside." Ethan swallowed hard. "I need the inside." Without another word, he stepped across the threshold into the house. The air inside was different. Heavy, rotting. A smell like old water trapped in wood and something deeper, like breath from something that hadn't exhaled in a decade. He clicked on his flashlight. A narrow beam cut through the darkness, revealing warped floorboards, peeling wallpaper, and a long hallway that stretched deeper than it should have. Ethan lifted his camera. Click. The flash lit up the hallway for half a second. In that half second, Ethan froze. There was a shape deeper inside, a tall, slender shape, not moving, not human. He blinked hard. The darkness swallowed the hallway back up. His heart pounded. Must have been a coat rack or a collapsed beam or his imagination. He lifted the camera again. "Ethan?" Lena called nervously from outside. "What do you see?" He didn't answer. He took another step inside. The house groaned. Not like wood shifting, more like a low, deep exhale. Ethan shivered. He raised the camera again. Click. Another flash. Another image captured. This time, the tall shadow was gone. Ethan blinked rapidly as the cold crawled up his spine. Now, he wasn't sure if he preferred seeing the shadow or not seeing it. He stepped further into the hallway. The floor felt uneven beneath his shoes, like something underneath was pushing upward. He glanced down and saw the boards slightly bulging. He swallowed. "I just need a few more shots." His voice echoed strangely, coming back distorted, as if traveling through a much larger space. He snapped another photo. Click. The flash exploded in the darkness. For a split second, he saw something. Something he refused to believe. Something tall standing right behind him in the reflection of a shattered frame. Ethan spun around instantly. Nothing there. Just smothering darkness. He took a step back, bumping into a table he hadn't seen. Something fell to the ground. A rotten paintbrush, its bristles black and stiff. Mara Lysander was a painter. Ethan tried to calm his breathing. He whispered, "It's just a house." But he didn't believe it anymore, because from deeper inside, from the place where his flashlight beam didn't reach, he heard something. A whisper, soft, female. "Don't close the door." Ethan's blood turned to ice. He ran. He burst out of the front door, gasping for air like he had been suffocating inside. His friends rushed toward him. "What happened?" Lena cried. Ethan shook his head, trembling. "Someone's in the house." Jordan stepped back. "Nope, no way. We're leaving." But Ethan looked down at his camera. A fresh picture was showing on the screen. He did not remember taking it. It showed him in the hallway, and behind him, a woman's silhouette, long hair, bent head, two long arms stretched toward him, his breath caught in his throat. Mark whispered, "What the hell is that?" Ethan's voice was a trembling whisper. I think I woke something up. If you'd like," trembling so badly he almost dropped the camera. His heart was pounding fast and angry, like it was trying to claw its way out of his chest. His friends stared at him in disbelief as the pale image on the camera screen glowed back at them. A tall silhouette behind him, a woman's outline. Her head bent far to one side, the neck stretched unnaturally. Her long black hair hung forward, hiding her face entirely. One arm was raised toward Ethan, her fingers impossibly thin. Jordan took a step backward. No, that's not funny. Tell me that's edited." "I didn't take that picture," Ethan whispered. Lena's voice cracked. "Ethan, we have to go, right now." Mark turned toward the house. The open door swayed in the cold breeze, creaking softly, almost invitingly. "Something's wrong in there," Mark muttered. "Like the house is awake." Ethan wiped sweat from his forehead. The cold air outside didn't match the heat throbbing behind his eyes. His breath came in shallow bursts. He hadn't said it out loud yet, but he felt it inside, crawling beneath his skin. Something from the house had noticed him. It wasn't going to forget. He glanced back at the porch. The door moved again, not swinging randomly with the wind. No, it moved like someone was gently pushing it open and closed from inside. The boards creaked in slow rhythm. Creak, creak, creak. Jordan's voice shook. "We're leaving. Right now, Ethan, come on." But Ethan wasn't sure he could leave. He wasn't sure he was allowed. A sudden sharp pain shot up his spine, like icy fingers gripping the base of his neck. He gasped and grabbed the back of his head. Lena rushed forward. "Ethan, what's wrong?" He couldn't answer. His vision blurred, the world tilted. For a moment he thought he saw someone standing behind Lena. A woman, thin, tall, head crooked. Then she vanished. Ethan squeezed his eyes shut. "It touched me," he whispered. "Something touched me inside the house." Mark clenched his jaw. "You're freaking out. That place is messing with your head." "Maybe," Ethan said, though he didn't believe it. "Let's just get out of here." The group turned away and began walking toward the street. But Ethan felt something pulling him, not physically but mentally, like invisible threads were wrapped around his ribs, calling him back, watching him take every step. The temperature around them dropped sharply, the wind died completely, the world suddenly fell silent again. Jordan cursed under his breath. Why'd it get so cold? They kept walking, faster, past the dying trees and the broken pavement. They reached Ethan's car, shivering despite their jackets. Mark yanked the passenger door open. "Get in," Ethan hesitated. Lena grabbed his hand. "Ethan, don't look back." He looked back. He didn't want to. His mind screamed not to. But he looked, and the house looked back. In the upstairs window, a figure stared out, motionless, a woman. Her silhouette perfectly still, hair hanging down like wet ropes. She wasn't in the house. She was watching him leave. Ethan staggered backward, nearly falling. Oh God, she's there. Lena looked too. She screamed and covered her mouth. Jordan didn't look. He jumped into the car and slammed the door shut. Mark stared at the house, eyes narrowed, breath fast. "Let's go. Now." They piled into the car. Ethan fumbled with the keys. His shaking hands made the keys miss the slot 3 times. "Come on, man," Mark yelled. Ethan finally got the key in, turned it. Click. The engine didn't start. He tried again. Click, click. Nothing. His breath sped up. No, not now. Please. He turned the key harder, his entire body shaking. Click, click. Jordan slapped the dashboard. "Start, you piece of..." The car roared to life. Everyone exhaled at once. Ethan floored the accelerator. The car shot forward, wheels spitting gravel. The house shrank behind them, disappearing behind dead trees and rotting fences. For the first time since stepping inside, Ethan felt hope. Maybe they escaped. Maybe it was over. Maybe something slammed onto the roof of the car. All 4 of them screamed. A heavy impact, a body or something worse, landed directly above Ethan's seat. The roof dented inward with a loud metallic crunch. "What is that?" Jordan yelled. Ethan gripped the wheel so tightly his knuckles turned white. He swerved violently, trying to shake it off. Another slam. Then a long dragging sound, nails or claws scraping across the roof. Scratch! Lena sobbed, covering her ears. "Make it stop! Make it stop!" The thing on the roof shifted. The metal creaked and bent downward. Something was lowering itself toward the windshield. Ethan screamed and jerked the steering wheel. The car swayed dangerously, almost slamming into a dead tree. "Ethan, don't crash!" Mark yelled. Something black slid forward across the windshield like oil. Ethan's breath caught in his throat as he saw it. Just a glimpse. A long arm, thin as bone. Bending in a way no limb should bend. A pale hand with fingers like roots dragged itself across the glass. The car shot out onto the main road, the sunlight breaking through the trees. And instantly, the weight vanished. Like whatever it was couldn't follow in daylight. Ethan didn't stop the car for 5 minutes, not until they reached the center of town. Not until normal noises, traffic, people, birds returned around them. He pulled into a gas station and slammed the car into park. No one spoke for a long time. Mark was the first. What the hell followed us? Ethan stared at the steering wheel, chest heaving. "It didn't follow us," he whispered. "It followed me." Jordan wiped sweat from his brow. "Dude, what did you see in that house?" Ethan swallowed hard, his voice thin. Something wrong, something alive, something angry. Lena hugged herself, trembling. "We need to go to the police. Someone needs to destroy that house." Ethan shook his head slowly. "They can't destroy it." "Why not?" Mark demanded. Ethan looked at them with hollow, terrified eyes. "Because it isn't just a house. He stopped. Lena leaned closer. "Ethan, what?" He finally forced the words out. "It's watching us." Mark flinched. "You mean the house?" Ethan shook his head. "No, her. She's watching me." He lifted the camera again, slowly, as if afraid. There was a new photo on the screen. Ethan's blood froze. Another picture he didn't take. It showed the 4 of them sitting inside the car, and behind Ethan's head, pressed against the rear window, a woman's face. White, rotten, eyes completely black, and smiling. Ethan dropped the camera. Lena screamed. Jordan backed away from the car. Mark swore loudly. "What do we do now?" Ethan looked toward the horizon, back toward Bramble Road. "I think," he whispered, "we made her angry." The scream Logan heard in the forest kept echoing inside his skull as he and Mia stumbled back toward Colonel Harris's cabin. The shadows of the trees swayed like bodies hanging from invisible ropes, and the cold wind carried that strange whisper again. "Don't look back." But Logan did, and instantly regretted it. Behind him, standing between the trees, was a figure, pale, bending its neck in an unnaturally slow motion as if its bones were cracking one by one. Its eyes were hollow pits leaking black tears. Its long arms stretched down to its knees, fingers twitching like broken claws. Logan squeezed his eyes shut. "It's still watching us. I can feel it." Mia grabbed his hand. "Just move. Colonel Harris said the woods are cursed. That thing, It doesn't want us to leave." They ran. By the time they reached the cabin, Mia was gasping, and Logan's shirt was soaked with sweat. But the door was already open. The old cabin, which earlier smelled like smoke and pine, now reeked of rot. "Colonel?" Logan stepped inside. The lantern still flickered on the table, the maps scattered around, but the chair where Harris had sat only minutes ago was empty, rocking slightly as if someone had just stood up in a hurry. "Harris?" Mia called, her voice cracking. Silence. Then a thud from the bedroom. Logan raised the iron poker from the fireplace and slowly pushed open the door. The room was dark except for a faint glow from outside. The window was shattered, glass on the floor. The curtain fluttered inward as if the night itself were breathing. And on the bed, a smear of blood, fresh. Mia covered her mouth. "Oh my God." Before Logan could speak, the lantern suddenly blew out on its own. Pitch black. Then the whisper returned. Closer. Inside the room. "He followed you. Because you called him." Logan's pulse hammered in his ears. "Who's there?" Mia grabbed his arm. "Logan, please, let's leave." But the door behind them slammed shut. Mia screamed. Logan swung the poker blindly into the darkness, hearing it collide with something soft. A low growl responded, something inhuman, vibrating the air. The window was the only way out. "Run!" Logan shouted. He shoved Mia toward the window. She climbed onto the bed, braced herself, and jumped through the opening, landing outside with a painful grunt. Logan followed, scraping his arms on the broken glass. His boots hit the ground just as something crashed into the window behind him, shaking the entire cabin. A long, clawed hand reached out through the broken frame, grasping the air where his face had been a second earlier. Mia grabbed his hand. "Go! Go! Go!" They sprinted away from the cabin as the creature crawled out after them, its limbs bending at impossible angles like a spider made of human parts. The forest shifted around them. Trees seemed to grow closer together. The mist thickened. Mia stumbled and fell, but Logan dragged her back up, refusing to let go. "We need to get to the road," he shouted. But the road was gone. Instead, they stood before a house that wasn't supposed to be there. Huge, old, Victorian. Black wood, tall windows like empty eyes. The front door opened slowly with a long groan, as if the house recognized them. Mia shook her head violently. "No, this wasn't here before." Logan stared at the house, breath shaking. "I saw this in the drawing. Harris showed us. This is the house where the doctor lived, the one who opened the portal." The creature behind them screeched, rushing closer. They had no choice. Logan grabbed Mia's hand and ran inside. The door slammed shut behind them, sealing them in darkness. At first, there was no sound except their panting breaths. Then the lights flickered on, dim yellow bulbs that buzzed like trapped insects. Mia whispered, "We're in his house, the one that disappeared 100 years ago." The hallway stretched impossibly long. Wallpaper peeled like dead skin. Portraits of people with scratched-out faces lined the walls. Each frame was marked with the same carved symbol Harris had shown them, a circle with 2 crossing lines. Logan touched one of the symbols. He used this to bind the spirits he summoned, but something wrong got through. A scratching sound echoed from upstairs. Mia grabbed Logan's arm. "We need to get out, now." But the house seemed alive, breathing, watching. A voice drifted down the stairs, hoarse, broken, almost human. "Come, to me." Mia froze. "That's Harris's voice." "No," Logan said, stepping back. "It's mimicking him." Something creaked above, then footsteps, slow, heavy, descending. Logan pulled Mia into the nearest room, what looked like an old study. Books covered the floor, furniture overturned, and in the center was a ritual circle drawn in black ash. Mia examined it. "This is witchcraft." "No," Logan murmured, kneeling. "This is an opening ritual, a doorway. Harris said the doctor didn't just summon ghosts, he summoned something older." The footsteps stopped outside the study door. Complete silence. Logan held his breath. Mia's lips trembled. Then bang! The door smashed inward, wood exploding. The creature stood there, taller than before, its body stretched by darkness, its hollow eyes dripping thick black liquid. But now its form shifted, glitching between shapes, sometimes a man, sometimes a woman, sometimes nothing at all. It lunged. Logan grabbed Mia and pulled her into the ritual circle. The creature hit an invisible wall, hissing, clawing, screeching as black smoke sizzled against the barrier around them. "The circle's protecting us," Mia cried. "But not for long," Logan said as cracks formed in the glowing ash. The creature slammed harder, its roars vibrating the room. Mia held Logan's hand tightly. "What do we do?" "We find the doctor's journal," Logan said. "It has to be here. Harris said it's the only thing that tells how to stop this thing." Books were scattered everywhere. Logan searched with one hand while keeping the other in the circle. The creature screeched and clawed, the circle dimming with each attack. Finally, Logan found a leather-bound journal under a broken chair. He flipped through it rapidly, pages filled with symbols, drawings of twisted beings, and notes about opening the threshold between worlds. Then he found the final page. His blood ran cold. "It says the door can only be closed from the other side," Logan whispered. Mia's face went pale. "Meaning, someone has to go through?" The creature shrieked, breaking another chunk of the barrier. The circle flickered violently. Logan swallowed hard. "If we don't, this thing, everything it's connected to, will spread." The barrier shattered. The creature screeched, raising its claws. Maya screamed, but Logan stood, gripping the journal like a weapon. "Mia, run when I say. Don't look back." "No, I'm not leaving you." The creature lunged into the circle. Logan pushed Mia out of the way, and the room exploded into darkness. Act 3. The illusion of darkness swallowed Logan whole. Mia slammed against the study wall, coughing as the black smoke dissolved. She blinked rapidly, trying to see through the chaos, but the creature was gone, and so was Logan. "No, no, no!" Mia screamed, scrambling to her feet. The house had fallen silent again, a dead, breathless silence that felt heavier than the darkness itself. "Logan!" she shouted, voice trembling. "Where are you?" Only an echo replied, long, stretched, unnatural. Then, footsteps. Not human, slow, scraping, dragging something thick along the floorboards. Mia backed away, heart thundering. Her eyes darted around the room until she saw something glowing faintly on the floor, the doctor's journal. It had flipped open to a page marked with blood. She crawled toward it, breath shaking. The page showed a sketch, a doorway made of living shadows, a human silhouette stepping through it. And the words, "The one who enters becomes the seal." Mia whispered, "Logan, what did you do?" The footsteps grew louder, closer. She grabbed the journal and ran out of the study into the hallway. The walls groaned like the entire house was waking up. The portraits now had eyes, real eyes, watching her as she passed. At the far end of the hallway, the staircase descended into a deep red glow. A whisper drifted through the corridor. "He waits for you, below." Mia clutched the journal to her chest and forced herself forward, descending into the basement. The basement door stood half open, and a cold gust of wind hissed through the gap like a living breath. Mia pushed it open fully and stepped inside. The staircase creaked under her weight. With every step, the air grew colder, so cold she could see her breath. When she reached the bottom, she froze. The basement wasn't a basement anymore. It was a vast cavern of darkness, endless and shifting like the inside of a nightmare. Floating in the void was a doorway, made of writhing shadows, pulsing like a giant, beating heart. And beside it, Logan. He stood still, facing the door, his body outlined in dim, ghostly light. His eyes were open but blank, as if he were trapped between worlds. Mia ran toward him. "Logan!" He didn't respond, but the shadows around him whispered in his voice, "I have to close it from the other side." Tears spilled down Mia's cheeks. "Please, no! We can find another way!" The shadows laughed, a low, distorted sound that echoed through the void. "There is no other way." A shape formed near the doorway, tall and monstrous, the creature that had chased them. But now it was bigger, its body made of thousands of writhing faces screaming in silence. It bared its jagged mouth at Mia. Logan suddenly turned, eyes filled with terror. "Run!" Before she could answer, the creature lunged at her. Mia dove to the ground as its claws slashed the air above her. The cavern shook violently. She scrambled to her feet, gripping the journal like a shield. The creature roared and struck again, this time ripping the book from her hands. Pages scattered like dying butterflies across the darkness. "No!" she cried, reaching for the pages. The creature grabbed her by the leg and lifted her upside down, its breath rancid, dripping black slime onto her face. Its mouth opened wider, too wide, preparing to devour her. Suddenly, Logan slammed into the creature from behind, tackling it with impossible strength. "Mia, go!" he shouted. The two fell into a swirling pool of shadows, grappling, twisting, screaming. Mia crawled toward Logan. "Logan, please!" But Logan pushed her away, his body half sinking into the darkness. "Mia, listen to me." His voice was shaking now. Human. Heartbreaking. You have to shut the door once I'm inside. That's the only way it stays closed. Her heart shattered. I can't lose you. You won't, he whispered, smiling through tears. You'll remember me. That means I'm not gone. The creature shrieked, dragging Logan deeper into the shadows. Mia shook her head, sobbing. Please, please don't do this. Logan looked at her one last time, eyes no longer terrified but calm. Close it, for us. Then he let go. The shadows swallowed him. Mia screamed. Logan! The creature lunged after him, trying to slip through the doorway before it sealed. But Mia, shaking, broken, desperate, grabbed the fallen journal pages and threw them into the shadow door. They ignited in brilliant white fire. The cavern roared. The doorway began collapsing inward like a dying star. The creature screamed, its body twisting violently as the imploding light dragged it back. It clawed at the edges, at the air, at Mia, but it wasn't fast enough. With a final blast of blinding light, the door slammed shut, and everything went silent. After the collapse, Mia woke on the floor of the basement. Except now, it was just a normal basement again. Dusty, quiet, empty. The house above creaked as if settling into its old lifeless form. Mia sat up, tears still running down her face. Logan. But there was no answer. No shadows. No whispers. Just silence. She climbed the stairs slowly, each step heavier than the last. The hallway was normal again. Portraits empty, wallpaper still peeling. When she reached the front door, dawn light poured in. The forest outside was calm. Birds chirped. The mist was gone. She stepped out onto the porch and looked back at the house, but it was already fading, becoming transparent, dissolving into morning light like it had never existed. Within seconds, it vanished completely. Maya whispered, "Goodbye, Logan." 1 year later, Mia sat on a bench overlooking a quiet lake. Her hands held a notebook labeled Logan's Story. She wrote every day, every detail, every memory, because she knew that as long as she remembered him, he wasn't lost. As she closed the notebook, a gentle breeze rippled across the water, and for a moment, just for a second, she heard his voice in the wind. "I'm here." She smiled through tears. "Always."